Hi there and welcome to Yarnspirations.com. A lot of new crocheters have a difficult time keeping their work even when the number of stitches doesn't change from row to row. I always say that half of knowing how to crochet is knowing where to stick the hook. So in this video we're going to talk about common ways to begin and end a row. Now, your pattern will tell you very specifically what you need to do. These are just some general tips. So generally speaking, in double crochet, the chain 3 at the beginning of the row counts as a stitch. So I have 5 stitches in my row. I did my 5 stitches, I turned the work, and I chained 3, and now I need to decide where the next double crochet has to go. So the chain 3 counts as a stitch. I read that in my pattern. So I'm literally going to hold it like this so I can see that that's going to replace that stitch, and I'm going to put my next double in the next stitch. And I'm going to work across till I come to the end. One thing I recommend when you're trying to work even, especially if you're a newer crocheter, is to count the stitches at the end of every row, because sometimes your work gets too wide and that usually means you have too many stitches, and sometimes your work gets more narrow and that usually means you have too few. So there's my chain 3 that counted as 1, and then 1, 2, 3 doubles, so now I have 4. I know I need 5, so I've got to figure out where to put that 5th stitch. Now, what I'm going to do is put it in the very top of the turning chain from the previous row, so under that chain 3. Now, I like to go under 2 legs of the stitch instead of 1, just because I think it's a little more sturdy. But if you want to do under just 1, that's okay too. Whatever you do, generally speaking, if you are internally consistent in your project, you'll be fine. So there I am, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to turn the work and chain 3. Let's do that one more time. 2, 3. Now, I know the chain 3 is going to replace that very first stitch, so I'm going to put my second stitch over here, right? 1, 2. Now remember, your pattern will tell you exactly what you need to do. So just trust in the pattern. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's that turning chain from the beginning of the row before. I'm going to yarn over. Once again, I'm looking to put it under 2 legs of the chain, just because I think that's a little more sturdy. All right, and I'm going to finish my double. Now, what if I was working in single crochet? Now, generally speaking, in single crochet, you're going to chain 1 at the beginning of the row. So let me turn my work and chain 1. But usually that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So in this case, since my chain doesn't count, I'm going to go right in that first stitch. 1. And then I'm going to keep working across. 2. 3, 4, and since I'm working my row of singles on top of a row of doubles, when I get to that last one, it's still going to be a chain 3 because it was on the row before. So once again, I'm going to squeeze my hook in there, and I prefer to go under 2 legs of the chain. Yarn over, pull it through, and finish. Right, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that chain 1 doesn't count. Turn the work, chain 1. Now, because I'm putting singles on top of singles, I'm just going to work in the stitches. If I'm going to just keep working in single crochet now, I'm going to ignore that chain 1. So if I want to make 5 stitches, I have 5 stitches in which to work. I'm not going crazy trying to put that last stitch into a turning chain of the row before. All right, and there's my 5 singles. So once again, count your stitches in every row if you feel like you need to. If your work is too wide, you're adding too many stitches. If your work gets narrow, you're skipping stitches. And 9 times out of 10, that's going to happen at the beginning of the row or the end of the row. Hope this helps you keep your crochet nice and even. Thank you for joining us on Yarnspirations.com. I look forward to seeing you again soon.